Welcome back to another Ready or Not video. So Voidinteractive finally released patch number 2 for the new Ready or Not Los Sueños update. They added several fixes to crashes, graphical issues, and general bug fixes. And I know I speak for everyone when I say it really feels like Voidinteractive completely disappears after a new major update releases. Back in 2023, we had a similar problem when Ready or Not 1.0 released on PC. We had various bugs and complaints that weren't addressed for quite a long time after the update. It has nearly been a full month since we've seen a notable bug fix patch for this game. Now, personally, I don't think it's acceptable, especially considering the magnitude of issues that we've had with the Los Sueños update, especially for PC players. But I'm not a developer, so I don't know what the logistics are behind how quickly they can release patches, but it's definitely disingenuous to the player base making us wait this long for fixes. And I do also have to mention this and be the bearer of bad news that this new patch does nearly break all the modifications that we had updated for Ready or Not, and I don't think there was any way around this, and I'm kind of just accepting it at this point. I wish there was a way we could implement updates without breaking mods, but at this point I think it's just inevitable. And it really sucks too, because there are so many mod developers that did a phenomenal job with map mods and gun modifications and cosmetics that just simply quit Ready or Not modding because they didn't want to have to update their mods over and over again. For years now, this has been happening with every update, and it just gets to a point, and I completely understand why they've stepped away. It just breaks everything every time when they come out with an update. It really does suck, and I wish there was a way to mitigate this, but I don't think we'll have a solution anytime soon. But either way, there's various fixes here across the board, many of which a lot of you guys have addressed concerns on. Obviously, I'm not going to go through everything here, so if you want to read through this yourself, I'll put a link down below in the description to the patch notes if you want to check them out for yourself. Now, the major fix that a lot of people have been mentioning was the weird blocky texture issue with the lighting, and I've noticed this myself, and it's actually been somewhat of a problem previous to the Los Sueños Stories update, but not nearly as bad as this release here. I went through various maps, and it does seem like the patch they released fixed the majority of the lighting issues. Honestly, the graphics in general look like they've been improved, but it's difficult to tell because I turned off DLSS just to ensure I was capturing the most optimal quality without any resolution downgrades. So I'm not entirely sure if that's related to the DLSS change, but with that being said, it does look a lot better. Now, with that, there are a few spots where it appears like there's some low quality shadows, but Voidinteractive did mention in the patch notes that they are attempting to fix some additional lighting issues, so this might be what they are referring to. I know a lot of us were also concerned about the downgrade to models and textures overall, and although I don't think this change has been as recognizable as the shadow bug issue that has been here for years, but it does appear like some textures were fixed. Now, I don't remember where I saw this. I couldn't find it in the patch notes, but I think over on their Discord, they listed known issues, and they said that the, I guess, weird issue with the texture downgrade, they knew about it, and they had to go through and try to figure out what's causing that. That's just what they mentioned in their Discord, I believe, but I'm not entirely sure about that. They also fixed the tear gas canisters from not effectively filling up rooms and affecting the suspects, and from what I saw just testing it out a bit, it seems like it's mostly working, but I did have some weird results when testing this out. The first suspect that I used tear gas on, it took an unreasonably long amount of time to get him to surrender for whatever reason. He sort of just got stuck in this animation loop and finally surrendered after like a minute or two of just coughing and standing there. In addition to that, I had a strange incident with another suspect where the gas was effective, but he kept saying a specific voice line over and over and over again.
My hands are up.
I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up.
Hands up above your head!
I'm not giving up.
No!
Hands up above your
I
head!
don't have a gun, okay?
Stay forward. Stay forward.
Apparently there was also an issue with the blood effects when shooting suspects. I never really noticed this myself because I rarely get up close to suspects after they've been shot, but there was a problem where blood wasn't soaking into clothing properly. And just a bit of a disclaimer here as I'm showing this off, I am running the Visceral Blood mod, so I'm not entirely sure if that is going to make a major difference or not regarding the bullet wounds and the blood pooling here on the clothing. They've also finally released a fix to allow modders to increase the multiplayer lobby size. This right here is the fix a lot of us Milsim gamers have been waiting for. The Lost Whale Stories update completely broke the ability to have more than 5 players in a lobby with mods, and this was due to the Epic Games implementation. A lot of us that have been playing Ready or Not for a long time, a lot of us in Milsim groups, we were extremely upset over the fact that this was broken due to the console launch. However, thanks to Voidinteractive, we are now allowed to use this feature with the in-game mod menu, which is now available over on Nexus. Huge shout out to Kiwi for updating this for everyone in the Milsim community, or just those who wish to play the game with a big friend group. A lot of us are so happy to finally be able to play the game with this modded feature again. And with that being said, you guys can definitely expect to see some new Ready or Not realism content coming out here shortly now that we have this mod back. Nonetheless, I'm glad we finally have an update that addresses a lot of the problems we've been seeing with the game. For some users, I'm sure they aren't going to be completely satisfied, and I know there's some things here that we wish were updated, but unfortunately they didn't get around to yet, but that's just kind of how it goes. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one.